Yes, what's good, everybody? So, the final pre-match shit vid. I'll still be jumping in over summer, and that will be loads of shit to talk about. Well, it's all pub talk, so it's all good. Shout out to my haters, my new hater. Nah, I'm only messing about. Yeah, quick shit vid. Obviously, got West Brom tomorrow. Sam Allardyce has jacked it in on the end of season. I don't think they're going to offer up much. Obviously, absolutely battered them last time out. Not a lot to say other than Llorente is not with us because he's picked up a small injury in first half against Southampton, and that's big. That's due to, well, apparently it's in the same area that his muscle injury that he had where it kept him out for a long time. It's in the same area as that. So Bielsa said that they brought him off because it could have got worse, basically. But he said that every decision he's made, he makes for the player and Leeds United, and he said that he hopes everybody get as many of our players as possible get to the Euros, which I said yesterday how important I think he finds that, and I agree. I think it really is important. Roberts, I heard this other day and a few people commented, but it's starting to pick up pace. Roberts has apparently snubbed a contract, like worried about his future at Leeds United, so that'll be nice news to some people, but not so sure. He's like a good squad member, but if we're bringing in players, it would be, we might get a little bit of money for him. He's a young lad, and if he's still in contract, then we might be all right. But Hernandez and Berardi, massive shout out to them too. Obviously, everybody will know this by now, but it's end of an era. They're leaving, end of season. Bielsa sort of hinted that he would have kept him at the club, but I think they want him to move on to pastures new. So shout out to them. It's sad, but. Well, it's not sad. It's part of football, innit? But it's they achieved what we tried to achieve, didn't they? So Hernandez played an integral part in bringing us up with that goal and stuff against Swansea that I'll never ever forget. Berardi's obviously a nutbag, and he's just leads through and through, and he's just full of beans. So yeah, big shout out to them too. Not that they're going to watch this, but just as a Leeds fan, and I'm sure I speak for every single person that watches these videos, like, they go down as absolute legends, don't they, at the club? So it's onwards and upwards, and sometimes you've got to let it go and let it. They started this, that this group of players that we've got that are going to eventually fizzle away in a couple of years, and we'll have to keep rejuvenating. They're the catalyst out, and they started it, and they won't be forgotten in that sense. So, but yeah, I shouldn't clap because that probably spikes everybody's ears. If you're listening in headphones, apologies. Ian Hart's had a sly dig at Gabby Agbonlahor, which is pretty funny, just on Twitter saying, like, I wonder what Agbonlahor thinks now, like, look at where Villa are in league, which is pretty funny. Charlie Austin, I think it's quite a good pundit, to be fair, he's always on TalkSport. I heard him saying the other day that Bamford has to go to Euros. He's like, the only English goal scorer with more goals is Kane, so he has to go. Just on Llorente, obviously fans are back, and it were his opportunity to even get a taste of any fans in the stadium, and he's turned into a tiny bit of a sick note again, hasn't he? But he's still Llorente, so I'm hoping it's not serious. I'm hoping it's just so that he can get to Euros, really, which I would imagine it is. I'm hoping, and he didn't seem to have it. Bielsa just said that he felt something in the muscle, and they didn't want to make it worse. This is all a bit too confusing for me. I don't really delve this far into it, all this stuff. But we've got some new members added to board, on membership board or whatever, the board of directors and all that stuff. But obviously, all that Rads does, I trust him. But I'll just read Leeds' statement to the best of my ability. I'm not much of a reader. And the names that I'm going to pronounce are off into pronunciation corner. Leeds United has today revealed changes to its board of directors as the club looks ahead to a bright future. The first new face on the board is Australian Peter Lowry. Peter is currently the principal of the Lowry family, a group private investment business, and was formerly the CEO of a hugely successful Westfield group. Lowry is a lifelong Leeds United supporter who brings over 30 years of business experience with him. Lowry is joined by Asa Ventures Chief Executive Officer Massimo Marinelli, which I can never say, Massimo Marinelli, who has played a pivotal role in generating investment into the club during Andrea's ownership. Any name throws me off. I know Andrea's name, but I was on Andrea's ownership, including the increased involvement of the 49ers enterprises earlier this year. I think a lot of people are getting worried about that, but I've seen a statement from 49ers and any sort of American investment. This isn't part of the statement, by the way. I've stopped the statement for now. And they were saying they really want to gain the trust of the fans, really, because they're aware of the scrutiny that some American owners sort of come under. But yeah, the last member, former Fiorentina CEO Sandra Mensuki, will take a place on the new look board, having spent 17 years at the Stadio Artemio Franchi. Massimo, Sandra and Peter join Leeds United chairman Rads, vice chairman Parag Marath and CEO Angus Kinnear to complete the board of directors. Andre Tegner departs, having joined as director alongside Andrea in January 2017. He has been a well-respected advisor to Andrea, and he leaves with thanks and well wishes to everybody at Leeds United. That is all subject to the Premier League clearance if they kick up a fuss about it, which I'm assuming if they've made a statement that's very, very unlikely. Yeah, so that's me. That's my ship vid. Check out my ship merch, which I got a couple of people emailed me and tweeted me the other day with some snaps which I'll put around here of them unpacking the merch, which I'm amazed anybody's even bought the merch. But yeah, shout out to them guys. Shout out to Mr. P for buying some merch. Shout out to John Crowley for buying some merch. Yeah, nice one. Check out my festival, 23rd, 24th, 25th of July. If you want some tickets, text me. It's in Leeds. It's just like a family festival, food, booze and music. Nice one. In a bit.
I don't wanna play no games. No, I don't wanna play no games. No, I don't wanna hear your promises. You do you and I'll do me. That's just the way it is. Don't wanna ever feel surprised. That's why I ask.